Hey everyone, it's Bonnie. Let me close my door here so I don't hear the TV. I'm in the home studio here and I'm working on some designs. We had our first field trip Friday today, and with that we had some crafters come in and we did our 9x9s, and these are the stencils of what they'd used. I just cut a second one to go up onto the wall so it'll be ready and someone else can do them the next time they come in. So I'm just going to weed through them and sit here and craft. So when you come on, just say hi to me. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're following. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. That's pretty much what these little live crafting things are for, is for you to get to know us and us to get to know you. Right now what I've done is these have all been cut on my machine, and I'm making them into the stencils that have been used on some of the signs. All the signs we do stencils with them, and that's what this is. The group we had in today was a bunch of young ladies. Some are being virtually schooled, some are going back into traditional school, but they had this week as virtual. So with that, they were able to take Friday and come in and craft with us. It was a good group of girls, very pleasant group of girls. Some of them, most of them had been to our studio before at some time or another. Some were brand new, never been in there before, first time painting a sign. Love it when we get a new person and they realize that they can actually paint a very creative sign. And they did a good variety of them. There was huge variety of them there. We'll have our field trip Friday, pretty much every Friday during the daytime. And it's given a chance for those kids that are being e-schooled or virtual learning, because we know there's a lot of them out there right now, a chance to come in and craft with us, a chance to get out of their home environment. As I told to the one mom today, use it as a bribery. They get all their work and all their assignments done by Thursday, they get to come craft with us. Hey, I'm not against bribing kids. Oh, Dobie, look at him. Isn't he cute? So like I said, these are some of the designs they did, and I just cut additional ones to go up on the wall to take place of what they did. We constantly try to keep our stock current. We have a good, I think at last count I had like 90 something sign designs for our mini signs. We don't keep them all cut. We have a book. So some of these weren't cut. They looked through the book, and if they didn't see anything on the wall, they were able to, see if they had something in the book form. And pretty much everybody found something in it. I think one was a little bit of trouble, and finally she found something she liked. But there's such a wide variety in there. Everything from good things for young kids that are simple to paint and that are trendy that they like, all the way down to stuff moms would like, and they can come in and paint it. We don't list these on our website because they're not for workshops, they're for open paints or for take-homes. We've been doing, right now I think for this week and next week, we have our happy hour of buy two, take a third home. So they've been pretty popular. And that doesn't include just these signs, it's these, it's our cutouts, and our interchangeables. So you can come buy two interchangeable pieces, which are only $5 each, and you get a third one for free, so that would be 3 of them for $10. You're not going to find them any cheaper than that. Nowhere's online, not of decent quality. I mean, there are some online that are cheaper than that, but they are also super thin wood. So ours are all engraved and has designs ready for you to paint on them. And we have got, I think my last count on those was 57 different ones are cut in the studio already. So, and I'll be adding more to that every week. The more we get used to our laser, the more designs I can do. We're getting ready to hit fall season, so I've got a lot of fall ideas up in my little noggin that I got to get out, get it designed, get them cut, because it does no good to have it in my noggin if I can't get y'all a sample to see. Look, see, I got quite a few of you. Hey, Angie, how are things up north? Come on, guys, talk to me. This is a cute little unicorn. It's one of our very popular designs with the young ladies. She's a quaint little unicorn. She's got little eyelashes, cute little ears, a horn which can be done rainbowed or gold. The little girl that painted her today painted her for her grandma. Her grandma brings her into all of our events, and she was just in the studio for camp, so she decided she was painting this one for grandma. It was purple and pink and teal, all different ones. I don't know, Carrie, how it showed up, but you're here. See? We take out all the pieces that they're going to be painted. I program on the computer, tell the computer what to tell the cutter to cut. It cuts all the lines, and then I come in and pull them all out so the kids can paint them and everything. And I say kids, but it doesn't have to be kids. It can be adults, too. We have adults come in every week and paint with us. We've done neighborhood bashes where the neighborhood women all come together. Hey, Lena. You must be back from Epcot. Some of the designs take, I think I should have like 5 hands while I'm doing them because it's all these little pieces. It's kind of like doing a decal, but just kind of like in reverse. What I'm taking out is what I would normally leave in if I was making a decal, because I want these to be the lines that are going to be painted on the wood. So I leave the wood lines, the design actually down, and pull up the other pieces that are protecting those lines. So like when she painted this, she had like one color, and there will be paint tomorrow. I am going to paint tomorrow. We actually have an open paint, but tomorrow night I'm going to be painting on here. I have our cutout of our wooden banner with all the little interchangeables. So tomorrow night I'm going to come on and paint some of those. I just left my paintbrushes at the studio and can't paint without paintbrushes. Painting with fingers does not work well when they're these little bitty tiny things. I did base coats on them last night while I was painting, so that way they're all ready for me to do little details. We've got like a sunflower. I still got to do some brown in there and then add some golden long hair. A little pencil. Got to put some black in there. Some silver in there and black in there, or gray. A Christmas tree I got to decorate. This is actually a baseball. I don't know if those lines are showing up real well in the thing. A fall leaf. St. Patty's clover. Valentine's heart. A witch's hat. I'm so excited to do the witch's hat. I'm going to do it with a purple band. And then we got a fall pumpkin. Pumpkin will be our door hanger next month. We got the Easter egg. And I did a snowflake. I painted it white. And then after I painted it, I realized that I painted my flags all white. So the white's not going to show up on the white. So I've got to put them another color. So you guys let me know what color you think I should paint my snowflake. Because he's not going to show up white on white. It just, nah, not a good one. So, and then I've got a patriotic star, but he'll show up because it's going to have some blue up here and then some red stripes. It's really cute when he's all done. So, but that'll be all painting that I'll be doing tomorrow when I bring my brushes home. I know we have class tomorrow, so I didn't want to bring them home and forget them here at the house and not have them there. I really need to just split them up and leave part of them here and part of them there. So this is our sea turtle, which is very popular at the studio, but we turned it into a Visco Girl design. So all I'm doing is taking out the pieces that when someone comes in to paint this and they pull it off the wall, it's already made, all ready for a stencil. If any of my young painters are on that go to our camps, they know that they get to do this during the camp. During adult classes and open paints, they're already done, weeded, and ready for you. Or if I custom cut it for you, I weed it real quick before I give it to you. So y'all don't do all the weeding, but the kids do, and they absolutely love it. I have some of my kids at camp that actually will be like, oh, silver would be pretty, wouldn't it, Audra? I might have to bring some silver home and do it in silver. That would be really, really pretty. Maybe do like a baby blue with the silver over it. Yeah. But they come in and they do the weeding during the camp, and I got some little girls that'll be like, when they're done doing it, instead of playing, they'll be like, do you have some more designs that I can help you make? And they just absolutely love doing this weeding. It's very therapeutic. I worked corporate America for 20-something years. I was a manager at an insurance company in the claims department. And stressed to the max, even though I didn't realize how stressed I was until I left there. High blood pressure, all of that. Now I sit and do all this all day. I can paint. I can deal with all the little kids running around and still do fine. Sorry about that, Carl. It is hard to read them. I'm reading at the phone being tilted a little, and it's like kind of hard to see it. I don't know how these guys that do live all the time, how they see the messages and stuff like that. Someone told me I need to get my iPad and bring it up on my iPad at the same time that I've got my phone recording. And then that way I could see the messages on the iPad over here and be able to, still record on the phone. I don't know if I'm quite that technological. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get there. I'm still working on trying to get me a tripod that holds my phone real well, because I use a pop socket, and I really like my pop socket, so I don't want to go through the solution of take your pop socket off. That just doesn't work too well for me, because I use the pop socket, hold it by that all the time. So I'm still trying to find a tripod that will work well with it. The one I have it in now, squeeze it along the side, and I've got it down at the very bottom and just tilt it some, and it seems to be working okay like that, but sometimes it won't hold it real well. It wants to pop it off all the time. Tonight it's holding it, so cross our fingers. And it's a ring light one, which is nice because it gives me light also as well. I have that, and I have another bright light that helps me see, because seeing these little pieces, these little letters I'm doing right here, yeah, not the best. You think it's hard to see your name, Carl? Imagine trying to see these. So I am doing this without my glasses because I see better close up without them. Even though they're bifocals, I get a better view without them. If I'm not reading, these aren't reading type letters. But even sometimes I read some apps on my phone. It's a couple reading apps where you can read stories. And I do them without my glasses too. So maybe tomorrow night I'll get the iPad and I can try both of them. Hey, Candy. And that way I can have the iPad over here to be able to see what people are saying, who's coming on, things like that, while I'm painting and stuff. And it's an older iPad, but it still gets Facebook, and as long as I don't paint on it, I'm good, right? If I did paint on it, maybe it'd be cute and colorful. See, I'm missing the inside of this E. Doesn't want to stay down. So when you're making them into stencils, you have to leave the insides of the letters down so that your E's look like E's and not like big blobs with little lines out of them. Sometimes they don't like to stay too well because in this case they're small. They're little tiny pieces. Can y'all see how? Where'd he go to? Oh my gosh, did I lose a little piece? No, there it is. Can y'all see that tiny piece on the end of that pen? I weed with what I call a pen, but there it is. That's that little tiny piece. Carl, these are designs that we have in our studio for kids. We had some kids come in today, and we had some painting, and we had some people come in and buy some orders, and when they get bought, I cut a new one to hang up on the wall. Some of them, if they're very popular, I have 2 or 3 of them. So a few of them that were done today, I don't have to cut right away, and I'll just cut them at the leisure. I got them wrote down at my desk so I know which ones to replace out. We try to keep, you know, like at least one of designs all cut. We've started selling just the stencils. We've started selling them as kits, which is the stencils with a piece of wood that matches with it in size. And the wood's already pre-stained and ready to, pre-sanded and ready for you to stain and paint and everything. So we've been mailing off orders of a lot of our kits because we sell a lot of our DIY kits online, and we've been mailing off orders for the last couple months to all over the United States. It's been kind of fun to see where they all go. I told Jennifer we need to do a map and color in all the places that orders have came from and that they've gone to for other states. I've got some that have gone to California, some that have gone up to Ohio, to Kentucky. I know had some that went to Illinois the other day, and I think I had a Washington the other day. But it's just so cool to know that somebody sees our little things. Our studio is located in Land O'Lakes, Florida. Our address is actually a Lutz address, but I think of it in terms of location to be more Land O'Lakes. We are about 2 blocks south of 54. 54 is the cutoff address-wise and postal-wise between Land O'Lakes and Lutz. So if you're on one side of 54, you have a Land O'Lakes address. If you're on the other side of 54, you got a Lutz address. So we're on the south side, so we have a Lutz address. But we are actually in a little plaza that is right before you get to the Dale Mabry coming on to 41 area, the light right there. Hey, Jennifer's on. There you go, Jenny. That's the way I don't have to worry about what people are typing. You can answer questions. I just figured you were probably busy with the kids tonight. And I'm just doing a quick live, just showing people some of our work that we do. I do the stencils, Jenny does the wood. So maybe one of these days we can get her live doing some wood, showing you how she cuts it all with the saw and sands it all. It's a lot of work. Everyone thinks, oh, a DIY studio, oh, that's, you know, a pretty easy job. But I find it funny that in our area, we've had more of them start up and then close down. I think there's only a handful of them left. And when I say DIY studio, I don't mean someone just selling wooden signs, because there are people that sell wooden signs right out of their home. Whether or not that's legal or not, I'm not too concerned over that. However, those that actually do the DIY studio, which is having people come in and us teach you and give you a class on it, all of them in the area are closing down. They haven't been able to survive through this pandemic. We are doing our best to hold on to what we've got. As the saying goes, we didn't come this far to come this far. We want to be here in 2021 for everyone to get out. You know, fall's coming. If we can make it into the fall season, hopefully we'll be pretty good, because fall will be major crafting time as usual. And I have some adorable fall designs that I'm working up. Someone was in the studio the other day and was seeing us working on one of our new designs that's coming out. I think in about a week to 2 weeks maybe. And they were like, oh, I gotta have that. And we're like, keep watching, it'll be there. But it's that she was just fascinated about the process of how we made it all. The creativity that we have to come up with, because all the designs that you see are things that we've had to design and make up. When someone first said, oh, I'd like to do a sign with a pineapple, which is this design, and that's been like 3 years ago, I was like, a pineapple? Do you want anything else with your pineapple? Nope, just a pineapple. And I thought, okay. So I did them a pineapple. And this, for a while, was one of our very, very popular designs. It is a very super easy design to paint. The kids love it. The adults love it. We have one in our studio that's done ombre from a dark blue down to a light blue with some shades of teal in there. That is just absolutely beautiful. So it gives them the idea that they can paint it however they want. We had one lady that came in and she took each of these little squares and painted little designs in all of them. And it was just phenomenal. But she had a picture that some famous artist did of something similar to that. And she wasn't copying them, she was just using them for the inspiration. And it was so unique and so pretty. These little cursives takes time and patience to pull all this out to make it ready. I have to leave in all the little pieces of the inside of these letters, and these cursive letters sometimes will have some loops. This one says, what if you fall? Oh, but darling, what if you fly? Such a good saying. Whose kids are all back in school? Mine are adults. So Carl, start to finish, you're talking about like everything, start to finish. I use a program called CorelDRAW to do the designing of the sign design. I have to create it all in there to get all the cut lines created. Then I send it over to a cutting program that goes onto my cutter and tells my cutter what to cut out. Once that's done, then I pull it off the cutter and just cut it around just to get it off, because I leave the whole roll. It's a huge roll, this 24-inch roll, big fat thing. It weighs like 50 pounds. Anyways, I take the pieces off, and then I do this to them, take them all out. I'm going to take this back into the studio, and I will put what we call transfer tape over it. Transfer tape is a clear, and it keeps all the insides of the letters in place when you put this on your wood. Our wood, we buy either sheets of wood or planks of wood, whatever size we need. And Jennifer cuts it all to the size that's needed for it. These are all the 9x9s. So she'll take a sheet of wood, cut a 9-inch strip, and then cut her 9-inch signs out of it. And she sands the edges real well, so it's all soft and pretty. And then she takes, and then we take, when you come into the studio for the workshop, you're given the wood and your stencil. And the first step we do is we stain the wood. It gets all the way stained. We have to watch and let it dry. Once it's dry, then we put the stencil on. So we will apply the stencil by peeling off this back layer. And we leave the transfer tape and the blue together. And then we put it onto the wood, and then we pull the transfer tape off. And then we go through and we take our colors and we use a sponge and we paint all the colors. So it's all ready to go. And then while the paint is still wet, we pull our stencil up. And if any mess-ups are, we do little touch-ups on them. And then we put hangers on the back of the wood. We put a stamp of approval on it. And then it's done, ready for hanging. So it's a process. It's a step-by-step process. It's not something that you rush through. The kids we had today, we did a 2-hour class with them, and they all painted a 9x9 sign. Got done in time to have a little bit of a playtime and some snack before parents picked them up. But our field trip Fridays are going to be every Friday. If you're in school, or your kids are going to, traditional school, you can believe at any point that we'd ever be referring to different types of school. So if they were in a traditional school, we have our kids' nights on Friday nights. So a couple nights a month, we do kids' night out. It's a fun time. The kids really enjoy it. We do different things, different projects, whether it's a pick your own sign, whether it's a name sign that we have set up because we're doing certain ones, or glow in the dark parties, all of that. Carl, we are open on Saturdays right now. We'd have limited hours on Saturday. I think 10 to 3 tomorrow is our hours. But we are not open on Sundays right now, and that's only because we're not that busy. So we are taking advantage of that and enjoying our Sundays with our families. So it's been kind of nice. When things get back into busy time again, Sundays are usually done for birthday parties. We usually have 2 to 3 birthday parties every Sunday going on in there. Everything ranging from kids to adults we do birthday parties for. And at that point, when that happens, we won't have our Sundays free anymore, and we'll only have our 1 day off a week like we used to typically do, and which is Mondays. We are closed every Monday except when we have kid camp going off. Kids are out of school. We are open for kids to come and craft with us. So those of you that have kids that are in school, what is one thing that they said that was a positive impact this week with school? Positive. Something positive that they said about this week. I know some people I saw on Facebook and their kids were relieved that they were back in school. Carl, the paint we use, the dry time on it's usually only a short time. We go in thin layers. Some colors require multiple layers, 2 layers, but most don't. If it's a pretty good coverage, then you only need the 1 layer. And once you pull the stencil off, it maybe takes 15 minutes to dry to where it's okay to move it and do with it what you want to do. We always tell people to wait 24 hours before they put anything on top of their sign. If they did like a tray, we tell them wait 24 hours before they set anything on it. But when they walk out, it's ready for them to hang it on the wall. It's dry enough, we have to turn it over to put the backing on it. So oh, I'm sure Lucy has enjoyed seeing all of her friends. Yours were glad they didn't have to come to the studio. Probably not. Probably so. They've spent the last 5 months in that studio, and they're probably a little cooped up feeling from it. I mean, I don't mean in there all the time. I just mean every day they come in there with you. So, because even when summer or when school, they were there. Everybody that comes into our studio knows Zane has his own little corner with his bean bags. But Lucy, yeah, she was probably glad to get back to her friends. But I bet you Will missed Lucy. I bet you Will was just upset that Lucy wasn't with them all day long. I love Will. He is so entertaining. And he loves his sister, that's for sure. So my fear is that like on some of this, like this one, these little pieces are not going to stay in traveling back to the studio. So I do have transfer tape here from my decals. So I'm going to put some transfer tape on this one. Here we go. Anyone that has a Cricut and they cut with a Cricut and they work with vinyl, they know what this transfer tape is. And it's always so funny when the ladies are like, when we just pull the transfer tape off the sign when we get it on the wood, and we just like crumble it up to throw it away, and they're all like, you don't save that and reuse it? And I'm like, no. No, we're not reusing the transfer tape. That would just be, I mean, it doesn't stay nice each time. And they get the best results by a fresh sheet each time to pull this up the right way, hold it the right way, peels off cleaner, everything like that. So you would know my trash can's all the way on the other side of the room, and I got a handful of trash. I have got to rearrange this room some to make it a little more feasible for these lives. Just started doing these evening lives, and we were talking about possibly doing them at the studio. So since I have some of y'all on here, give me some input. Would you watch these if we had these going on at the studio of us just doing our studio stuff? You know, whether it's cutting wood, painting samples, making stencils, any of that stuff. Would anyone be interested in watching that? And if so, would it be better in the daytime or in the evening times? Ooh, Will's coming in tomorrow to visit with me. Yay! Tomorrow's going to be our first official Saturday open paint since all this COVID stuff. We've hesitated on doing them because of all the laws of making sure there's only so many people in here and stuff like that. But we just figured once we get the allotment of what we can have in there, that's it. No more can come in. I think that's the only other one that had little pieces. Let me double check through these. The turtle's got some little pieces in their lettering. And this one has some little pieces. I'll just transfer top them all. I'll just stick my garbage up there for right now, so instead of getting up each time. So Audra, have the kids gone to, are they going to traditional school, or are you homeschooling them? Let me tell you, either way you do it, whether you decide to homeschool or traditional school, it's tough on parents right now. Mine are all grown adults, and I think I would have a tough time having to make that decision of which way to go. See, I've already got some of the insides of the E's here. I've already moved around. See, I'm just using the extra pieces that I cut off all the time. There you go, Audra. Just hang out, relax. I'm sure you might have a glass of wine in your hand. I could lie and tell you I've got my wine right here, but it's not wine. I don't even drink wine. It's just tea. Unsweet tea. What I always seem to have in my glass. Unsweet tea, and unsweet tea. Yeah. That laid down a little too early. I'm going to have to piece this one too. Didn't catch the top of it, but I can fix that. There we go. Now it's all covered. Yes, you do the wine part, Jenny. Heck, I don't even know what are good wines or not. She laughs at me because someone was saying, "Oh, what kind of wine back there?" I'm like, I don't know. It's all in bottles. Do you have this kind? I'm like, I don't know. Come check it out and see if we do. Because I know nothing about wine except it comes in bottles. I never acquired the taste for wine. The only wine that I found that I've even remotely liked was a cheap blackberry wine that, rest her soul, Mrs. Sasser told me about it. We were over at her arena one night and she was like, have a glass of wine. And I'm like, I don't drink wine. And she's like, oh, you'll like this wine. And sure enough, I liked it. She says, I don't drink wine either. This is the only wine I drink. It was a blackberry wine, and it was so good. And I wish I knew what brand it was, because that way I could get me some of it, but I don't even remember what the brand name was of it. I got it one time way back. It's been a few years back. Wine comes after you get the kids to bed. I because I don't do coffee and I don't do wine, which are super popular with everybody, it seems, except me. I used to work at Dunkin' Donuts when I was younger and couldn't tolerate the smell of the coffee. I would go home smelling like coffee every day. Had to learn how to make coffee. I mostly did the baking in the back, so I didn't have to do too much coffee at least. I smell like donuts also. My dad drinks coffee. He drinks a lot of coffee. He'll go through a whole pot of black coffee, straight up black. You don't mess around with anything messing it up. He just wants straight up black coffee. Me, I'm a tea drinker. And by tea drinker, I don't mean hot tea in the little cup that you have to drink real dainty. I like my cup of tea, cup of iced tea. And it used to be sweet tea. Lots and lots of sweet tea. I would drink sweet tea all day long. Now, when I worked in the office and worked in corporate America, I was a soda drinker. I would buy a case of Mountain Dew every week and hope it's going to last me all week. There, now they're all transfer topped, ready just to hang up on the wall tomorrow. I can't eat the donuts either. I'm diabetic, so donuts are off my list too right now. But I do go to Dunkin' Donuts and I get their bacon, egg, and cheese croissant, which is really good. And it's far more superior than like the ones at Burger King and stuff like that. Burger King's is little compared to the big one you get at there. And it's just, I mean, it's really good. So another handful of trash, taking it to the trash can. So all those designs are done. We're going to do some painting tomorrow night. But that's really it tonight. I just wanted to get on just to let y'all know that I'm here. We're doing stuff. This is going to be a new thing, doing some lives for y'all. The light's real bright. Between the ring light and my spotlight, it's like, whoa. So, but, ooh, is that better? Yeah, let me turn this light off. The one that was helping me see my designs. Is that better? There, yes, now. Okay, Jennifer, if you're still on, let me know if this lighting is good. You told me my lighting wasn't well enough last night. Let me know if this is better lighting. Okay, Audra, we'll see you tomorrow, and yep, keep watching. We'll do some more lives. They're just fun, a good way for you to get to know us. I think I need to clean this background here first, too, huh? It's got a lot of stuff in there. I'm an ex-cosmetologist, so I have lots of hair stuff sitting back in here. So, good, Carl. Glad the lighting seemed at least good. So, I always worry about the lighting. I do this in one of my bedrooms. It's what I've turned into my craft room. I actually have 2 craft rooms at home and the huge studio. But I did do this in here. I set up a table in here to do it and everything like that. And I'm like, hopefully the lighting's going to work for it. So, I will see some of y'all tomorrow. I'll be back here. But I'll also be at the studio tomorrow if anyone wants to stop in. We're going to have some fun. We're going to do some painting and just have a good old time. Night, everyone.